Some people, when starting out with magic and ritual work, have a misconception of feeling that it's of a darker nature and they worry about that. What would you say to these people?
Well, that's an interesting one. Because that kind of goes into moralistic questions. What I can tell you, a thing that comes up a lot, and I did the Mind Body Spirit show, and every so often I earnestly get asked, is this witchcraft? And what they really mean is black magic. And I have some I have some answers that kind of diffuse the fear around it, but I guess that it's a fear most people have when they look at the occult, is like, is it evil? Or, and the answer is no. It depends what you're using it for, and that's up to you. So chaos magic is amoral, I suppose. It's all about results, and it's down to you to choose kind of, where your boundaries are. And I think that's one of the most freeing things about it, but it's also one of the most terrifying, because people like being told where lines are, and chaos magic completely removes them. There aren't any. And it's all down to you to decide what you do and don't do. And I get asked questions, should I do this? Well, only you can answer that, Personally, again, this is why it's very important to explore the outcome, and to really look at what you're after. So I'll give you an example of something. I'm going to go full on here. So spells to kill people. Most people, in my experience, when they want to do magic to kill somebody, don't really want to kill them. They want them to go away. And that's totally different. First off, it's my belief that if you wouldn't actually kill them hand to hand, then you probably don't want them to die in the first place. It's just a nice idea. And that's very different to your underlying sort of desire. And recognizing that actually you want them to go away allows you to craft a more effective sigil or spell to get that result. Because you're going to get that anyway, generally speaking. Your unconscious can tell the difference between your little mental tantrums and what you're actually after. And in order to do that, you have to sort of engage with the idea of killing someone in the first place, and be willing to kind of, so what do I really mean by this? Because most of the time you don't actually mean that, because otherwise you would have probably done it. And also I'm not a believer in absolute morality. I think everything is flexible to some degree, with some exceptions. But when it comes to most of the time, this idea that, all magic is evil is it's a trope. It's just something they've picked up from watching too much TV, basically. So, for example, like if you go to Witchfest, I've seen some sort of Christian protest groups standing outside Witchfest, and and some of them seem to literally think that babies are being boiled alive inside, and it's just not true. It's so far from the truth. So people create these kind of ideas about what it might be like, and they hold on to them because it serves a purpose, and it also enables avoidance of actually doing it. So the other thing that happens with that quite a lot is what I call theoretical occultists, where they read every book under the sun, but they've never actually done any of it. And when pushed, very often it's because they're a little bit afraid that it might not work, and then they've wasted a lot of time reading about it. So there's all these things come into play. But the short answer is no, it's not. That's comic book stuff.